this is a fear that has held a lot of my clients back from starting a podcast or growing their podcast or going live or doing like talking reels, because they're very afraid of like running out of things to say. And I tell them like there's no easy way to get over that except for fucking doing it.
Welcome to Did I Stutter with Jill Perick. And yeah, I probably did because I have a stuttering disability. But I'm also a multiple six-figure business and mindset coach who's here to help you shut down the mindfuckery of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and playing the nice girl in your content so you and your brand can blow the fuck up and so you can stack the motherfucking cash. I'm holding absolutely nothing back. We're talking marketing, messaging, mindset, subconscious healing, nervous system regulation, and how to do it all even with raging anxiety, ADHD, and just being a fucking human. If fuck is one of your favorite words and nothing can get in between you, your iced coffee, or the work that you're here to do, I'm your girl. Let's dive in.
So I'm on my way to my best friend's son's birthday. It is a long weekend, so you know that I love somebody very much when I am going to drive an hour and a half into cottage country traffic, because I live in a very cottage country area, and it's about an hour and a half north of Toronto. So again, I love my friends very much. I have like a handful of really close girlfriends who I've had since high school and even before that. And they are the only fucking people that I would drive an hour and a half on a long weekend to their kids' birthday parties. And my nephew is here when you're listening to this. You're listening to this at the end of September, but I'm recording this at the end of August. And my nephew is here right now, and he is just the sweetest little boy, and he's giving me baby fever for fucking sure. And I was just laughing because I was like, you guys will not know when I'm pregnant. Like, I'm not going to announce it. I ain't gonna say, like, I'm not gonna turn, like, my whole fucking feed into, like, I'm a mom now. No shade to the people that do that. But there is just no part of me that wants to align my brand with kids. Like, there is just no part of me. And I actually, like, the majority of the clients that I work with have children. And the coach that I work with has a son. And I'm sure she's going to have more kids as well, right? But I just love to be surrounded by women that, like, that is not the most interesting thing about them. And even when we got married, I was so happy. I love my husband. We're high school sweethearts. He's the best. And it was one of the best days of my life. But I don't see it as an accomplishment to get married. I see it as an accomplishment to have a kid because holy fuck, like the stress that puts on your body and the life change. And if you run a business at the same time as having kids, like you're a fucking superhero. It's never about like my lack of respect for women who have kids. Like absolutely not. Like I respect the fuck out of every woman who has a child. This is not where the episode is going, by the way. But but it's just like for me, I don't want that to be my whole personality. And it's not going to be. And if it is, I want someone to come and slap me silly if that happens. Okay? Okay, you guys can hold me accountable. Okay, let's get into the episode today. I really wanted to tell you about my first live event is like experience and what that meant for me. Really legitimizing, that's not a word, but legitimizing my business and being a coach. Because this was in 2019 and I went to Pays to Be Brave. And I really did think about it and I was like, it really did pay to be fucking brave. It really did because I signed a one-to-one client from that event and I also signed a mini mastermind client as well a little bit later in the year after that event from that event. And for those who don't know this about me, which at this point you have because I have rebranded the podcast to Did I Stutter? I have a stutter and I have my entire life. I'm sure you'll hear it here. And it is something that is like the root of all my unworthiness shit. It's the root of my perfectionism, me not feeling good enough. And it just bleeds into every part of the things that I do. And like, depending on my time of the month, like sometimes I'm a lot more fluent than other times. If I'm really anxious, it can be really bad. And this has happened for me when I've done like Zoom events or I've been coaching a client. And if I'm nervous, or even if it's just like an off fluency day and I'm not nervous at all, it just happens, right? This has been like the root of everything. And when I started a business, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be perfect. Like I can just run the business and I won't need to confront the stutter. And hilariously enough, it's like, girl, you are public speaking all of the damn time. Like my podcast, my Instagram stories, when I'm coaching clients, doing events, like all of these things that I do as a coach and being an impactful fucking coach, like it caught, like I have to talk. Like it's a part of my everything when it comes to having a business. And even if you don't have a stutter, like it still can be like a very hard part of realizing that, like, okay, people pay you for your thought leadership and they pay you for what you think. So your thought leadership is like how you get paid, and people are paying you to hear your perspective and your thoughts and what you believe and what you think. And the clients that come and work with you are working with you because they align with you or they want to align with you, right? This is an aside, but when you create content that is direct, it's punchy, it's a little bit spicy, you're not calling out people in that content. You are actually calling in the people who fucking agree with you. So if you think, oh my God, like this is too bitchy, this is too mean, blah, 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 you're actually calling in someone who's going to be like, fuck yes, I'm so glad she said it because I was thinking this exact same thing. That's an aside. That's a conversation for another day. But people pay you for your thought leadership. And as someone who stutters, that was really hard for me to grasp. And it took me a really long time to get paid really well for that. But in 2019, I had just started really like showing up online. I had my first like program launch and I think I made 5K from that launch. But 2019 was really only like a $12,000 year, which only, I mean, that's not bad for like your second year in business because I started in 2018 and paid like a couple $100 here or there, you know? But I was thinking about going to this event all summer. I was like, okay, it's in October. It's in freaking San Diego. I love California so much. If I didn't have like a very involved family and my husband's family and everything, I would move to somewhere like California. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out how I can go. And I was still, obviously, I was working my full time job. I really hadn't made any money in my business. And I was like working full time and running the business at the same time and investing in myself. And I was able to get a free ticket. The coach that I was working with at the time, she was like, hey, like, here's a ticket. So that was awesome. And then I booked my flights on a credit card and booked the hotel on a credit card. And I was like, I'm going in. And I was scared fucking shitless. I was so scared. And I remember being in the airport terminal in Toronto, and there was like these group of girls that I recognized from online. I recognized all of them from online, and I knew that they were kind of like in the online coaching space. And I like was thinking to myself, like, okay, I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna introduce myself, and I didn't do it because I was just so nervous about like trying to introduce myself, and I couldn't. If you are somebody who stutters, then you know that like introducing yourself is the hardest thing in the fucking world. I was so fucking nervous, and I was just like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it. And I just felt kind of crappy about myself and seeing these girls all like talking to each other and networking and doing all this stuff. And I was just like, am I even gonna be good enough to get this thing off the ground? Then I went to the event, and from that event, somebody who like knew me from online was like, hey, I'm thinking about working with you. And I was like, perfect. And she ended up signing on for one-to-one coaching. And I actually went to a supper with a group of girls, and I sat beside another potential client and I introduced myself, and she ended up signing on later, and I ended up signing 10K in clients from that event. It literally paid to be brave. And that's the thing is like, I was still so scared shitless, but I have never let that fear stop me from taking any action at all. And I didn't allow it to actually stop me from just doing the thing, even when I was scared shitless. And I think what a lot of people seek is they seek the comfort, they seek the like, okay, there's going to be a time in the business where things feel easier. Content's feeling really hard. Is there something wrong with me? Or, like I'm dealing with this like client issue, or I have a potential client in the DMs and she's kind of like going back and forth, and I can't focus on anything for the rest of the day because I'm thinking about this potential client, like potentially signing on. All of these things are so fucking uncomfortable. And expanding your capacity and being somebody that can handle all of this, it doesn't mean that it feels good. And it doesn't mean that it's easy. You actually entered into a career that is hard emotionally, it's hard mentally. And the thing is you're actually way stronger than you even realize. You have a lot of resilience, and that's obvious in like the things that you've been through in your like life and the things you've experienced, all of these things. But like, I never want somebody to come and work with me who like expects it to be easy or expects it to be comfortable, because I am uncomfortable 99% of the time. I am uncomfortable when I record podcast episodes. I'm uncomfortable when I do content that feels super edgy. I'm uncomfortable when I sell my offers. And like, I don't mean that I'm not good at it. And I don't mean that I'm not confident, because I totally am. But it still feels like an edge to be like, fucking buy for me. It still feels like an edge to be like, I'm going to change your life. It still feels like an edge to be going to an event in October for my coach, Ice Cube Pearl funeral. I'm so excited about it. It's in Toronto. I'm really excited. If you are going, I'll be so happy to see you there. If there are still tickets available, hit me up because I have affiliate links. So I am very excited for that event, and I'm also fucking terrified because I'll have to be in person with people. I'll have to talk to them, and it's my biggest insecurity, right? Because I have a stutter, and it's just, I am not the only person who has these anxieties or these fears. It just looks different. And if you are telling yourself like, I am not cut out for this, or this is hard just for me, like this is just a flavor of fucking imposter syndrome that is telling you that you're not good enough. And I actually am telling you the story about ways to be brave because I am nothing special. Like, I am somebody who had all these fears, all these anxieties. I have a stutter. I definitely like stuttered in front of these like potential clients who still paid me. Like, I have stuttered so bad on like a call before, and then the client like reached out and paid me thousands of dollars, right? Or I've had clients resign when they've seen me like struggling on a coaching call or something like that. Like, if I would hold myself back simply because I think I'm not good enough and people don't want to work with me because of this, like, I would never have the business that I have. And I kind of like the whole like underdog story I'm telling you right now, because it is proof, it is evidence that you can be whatever you fucking choose to be, and you can be successful at this. You just have to go first. You have to be courageous. You have to be somebody that truly does see themselves as somebody who has knowledge and thoughts to share and beliefs and values, and that like people are going to align with you and they're going to want to work with you. But when you count yourself out first, you don't even fucking give yourself the chance. If I would have been like, you know what, I don't need to go to this event, it's too scary. And I've definitely had those feelings before. I've definitely been like, I'm just not going to do this because, like, even though I know it would stretch me and that's what I actually fucking need, I'm too scared. And I've done that and I've regretted it every single time, because when I actually do get in the room, when I do make the scary fucking investment, when I go on Instagram Live, when I do these things, it always turns into something. It always benefits me, if not right away, absolutely in the long run. And you're not special. You are not special. If you think, oh, I need some type of fucking personality trait or it factor to be successful in this space, or I've made like 5 to 10K cash months and I just don't think I can get over that hump because there's nothing like special about me, or whatever your thoughts are around like where you currently are, your results, you need to tell yourself to shut the fuck up, because that is where you are limiting yourself. Like, for example, when I started to really like get into like thought leadership stuff, like I started thinking to myself, like, how am I going to sit on an Instagram live and just like talk? Or how am I going to get onto a training and just like let it rip? Right? Because like this is a really niche like fear that a lot of people have as a business owner, because they're kind of thinking to themselves like, okay, like if I show that I don't really know what I'm talking about, or if I like run out of things to say, or blah 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 blah, like this is a fear that has held a lot of my clients back from starting a podcast or growing their podcast or going live or doing like talking reels, because they're very afraid of like running out of things to say. And I tell them, like, there's no easy way to get over that except for fucking doing it, right? Like, there used to be a time where I would, like, really meticulously write out every script for the podcast. And then I would do the podcast and it was good. Like, it was super good. And I'm sure you can hear the difference with, like, between those episodes and these episodes when I'm just like, riffing. And I know the podcast episodes where I'm just like riffing and letting it rip and just talking, like it definitely is not as organized or poised or perfect as the other ones, but it's me. It's authentically me. And I realized like about a year and a half ago, potentially even 2 years ago, I was like, fuck, like I really need to start like showing the clients that I work with that they can do this and I have to go first. Like I have to go first. I have to do the scary thing, and you're not going to get over it or get through it until you do it so fucking uncomfortable and not make it mean anything about how smart you are or if you have what it takes or any of that bullshit. Everybody you see that is so successful online, or me, or like just anybody that you compare yourself to online, you don't even realize the amount of times that they've had to be uncomfortable. You can't even imagine how afraid they've been to say the thing, to do the thing, to put themselves into situations where they're like, I don't know what I'm about to just fucking say, right? You don't even realize. And if you just created a condition for yourself that even if you were afraid, if that was the only thing holding you back, you still had to do it, you would fucking explode. Instead of overthinking it, instead of telling yourself, like, I can't do this because of some like strategic reason, when really the only reason is that you're scared, and that you're scared to be seen as vulnerable, or you're scared to be seen as not as smart as you're trying to be. Right. And I can fucking tell. I can see somebody's Instagram page or see their content and like know that they're holding back, and know that like they actually are so smart and capable and all of the things behind the scenes, but they are holding themselves back. And it is always because their ego has gotten in the way and they are not fully fucking bearing themselves and allowing themselves to be seen because of fear of being fucking found out, because of fear of not being seen as good enough or smart enough, the fear of putting it all out there and then people not responding or people not purchasing right away, which I can't tell you how many times I've done that, how many offers I've created that have flopped, how many things I've done, and you would never know because I just keep going anyways. So you need to fucking feel the fear and do the thing, no matter where you are currently in business or in your life. If there is a next level of income, if there is a next level of like the glass ceiling that you can't seem to shatter, it is probably because you need to hear this today. So come and work with me in the Real Deal Mastermind so you can overcome this bullshit of fear getting in the way. So you can create content that is so authentically you and so clearly like just an extension of your soul and your soul's work and attract the best clients to your work. So you can actually build out a business and an offer suite, a signature offer that will help you stack 10 to 20K months. This is exactly what we do inside of the Real Deal Mastermind. You get full access to me as your coach. We do the mindset, we do the somatics, we do the strategy, and I cannot wait to see you inside of there and coach you. Okay, guys, love you so much. I'll see you next week. I'll see you in October. Bye.